Inspiration comes from anywhere and everywhere. And what started me over this particular collection is the concept of the full circle, which is when you live your life, but at some point you realize you go to places you have already been. And the technique I developed here is digital, and it turns out to be in the form of cells. I call them cells or circles. So I think the title of this exhibition is appropriate since the cells appear to be circles, and my perception of life right now is like a full circle for places I have been already. So this is the reason behind the title. If I always made art like this, not at all. First, it was black and white with drawing until I thought reality was figurative and realism was way too much, and I decided to do something else with the images that I produce. My professional life as an artist started actually in Singapore around 20 years ago, in the 90s, early 90s. And that's when I started my career professionally. Now, what artists influenced me? I think that the major mentor, one of them, that is important for me is Kandinsky. And I paint in that manner for a number of years, or a number of paintings, until I outgrow that style and I fusion something that I thought it was more me. So then the next thing I want to talk is about the process of creating each and every one of these body of work, which is different than what I do in oil on canvas. Oil on canvas is something, and this is something else, and it's very different. The fact is, this is digital, the previous body of work is physical, like with a brush. So being digital, it takes, from conception to finish, it takes a number of steps. First, I do everything. I take all the pictures, which is, the work is basically based on photography. So I take the pictures, and then I'm not happy with what I see in literal reality, and I change them into a reality that I think it says much more than what I can see in any bare bones picture, black and white or color picture, for what I have to say related to the collection of oil paintings before, which is always going to be organic shapes and the reality as we perceive it. The time that takes me to make every picture, it can be hours or it can be a week, because I do many different copies and versions of each image you see hanging here on the wall. Actually, each one of these pieces may have average 25 to 36 versions of it until I decide which one is the one I'm happy with, and then I go ahead and take that one for printing. The story of this work is the story of my personal life, so I don't think there is anything interesting from my particular personal life, but from the things that I can observe in other people's life. Even though these images are based on reality, but they are also distorted into a reality that is the one I want to show, not necessarily the reality that is available everywhere. The process of the work is solitude in the studio, and that's it. I don't like anybody around when I'm producing anything in any technique or media. So I feel like art is a language beyond language. So, and that's what I'm trying to achieve. If I'm not communicating well with what I'm doing, I think it's not a good thing. So I try to make the images more affordable for the message that they embody.